Welcome back, everybody. It's National Safe Boating Week, and today we are teaming up with the Coast Guard to tell you what you need to do to keep safe out on the water. I'm joined today by Jennifer Heisler and Petty Officer Michael Miller with the Coast Guard, going to tell us all about some flare safety tips as well as what you need to know to stay safe out on the water. Jennifer, I want to start with you. Tell us about National Safe Boating Week and what you guys are trying to accomplish.
Sure. National Safe Boating Week is an annual week leading up to the unofficial kickoff of the boating season with Memorial Day. Really, this week, everyone thinks of the Coast Guard. Response. We go out, we help boaters in distress. But what about preventing that problem in the first place? So that's really what we're out here to do today.
And you guys are going to do some safety checks in and around the area to make sure that everyone has what they need on their boat to stay safe, correct?
Absolutely. We've got free vessel safety checks, us, DNR, and the Power Squadron all weekend long. You can go to abcnews4.com/Coast Guard and check out the dates and times for those.
Now, what are some of the things you need to have on your boat at all times to make sure that you stay safe out there?
Well, everyone always thinks of things of like life jackets, radio to call in distress. But flares are important too, because when you do get into a problem, how are you going to let someone know that you need help?
Exactly. And Petty Officer Miller, I want to bring you in right now because we're going to talk all about flares and the laws and regulations of what you need when firing those flares if you do get into emergency situations. So tell us about the different types of flares.
All right, John, first and foremost, the first thing I want to mention is all boats 16 foot or greater are required to have a visual distress signal or flare when operating on coastal waters or the high seas. All boats, regardless of the length, operating from sunset to sunrise, are required to have some type of visual distress signal. But we have a couple different things. A couple configurations is your electric distress light. That's one requirement, along with a flag is acceptable. The electric distress light with 3 orange smoke, which Jennifer happens to have a copy. We're going to have some back here in a second for demonstration. And then 3 red flares. Those are the configurations. 3 red flares, 3 orange smoke, and a distress signal light. And now we'll lead into a couple of demonstrations we've had donated. Hopefully they work. So
let's take a look. Which one are we going to start
all
with?
Right, we're going to start with the common one, which is the traditional red flare you get from West Marine. That's
so you
it.
can see it burning right there. That's all it's
Yep.
going to do is produce some red smoke. Is that correct?
Yes, it's a red flare, and it'll burn for approximately 3 minutes. And then you have the orange smoke, and you can slowly see it a little bit there. There it comes out, and it'll burn for anywhere between 20 to 30 seconds. And then the last thing we have is what's called the red parachute flare. It's the aerial flare.
That was loud and fun, and that thing went sky high. You guys probably can't see it, but it is way up there. So it's burning right now. What does that exactly do?
Basically, that's giving you the most amount of coverage for air. Planes passing by, other boaters or whatever it may be. It's gonna be a parachute that's coming down. It's gonna burn for 30 to 40 seconds. Give you the most visual out there for the highest height.
Well, tell me about some of the emergencies that people in and around South Carolina waterways, especially Charleston, might need, kind of run into to have these flares, need to have them on your boat.
Well, it's common. I mean, just a perfect day like today. I mean, you have a lot of weather that comes in. A lot of weather that comes last minute. You may go out on a perfect day and it's nice and sunny and and 1 foot chop in the harbor, and the next thing you know, it's a 2 to 3 foot chop, and you got a thunderstorm coming across, and you may be the only one out there. You may take some water over the side, and all of a sudden you need to get in touch with somebody. So there's all kinds of scenarios that happen on a daily basis that people need to be cognizant of. Be prepared. That's the most important thing, because it's your life.
And you can get these at pretty much any boating specialty store, correct?
Yes, any of the boating specialty stores or hardware stores, stuff like that. They're abundant. They're everywhere.
And
so.
if you guys pull up on next to somebody and tie up and do a safety inspection, or DNR comes up, or one of the local municipal police agencies, and you don't have these flares, you're going to get a little bit of trouble.
Well, possibly. Yes, you are required to have them, and it can lead to a violation. So.
One other thing I want to talk to you about, Mike, is that this is such a big weekend, of course, coming up, the 3-day weekend for everybody. A lot of inexperienced boaters might be on the water, someone that just bought a boat over the winter, perhaps. So you need to take some extra precautions this weekend.
Absolutely. Take precautions. Most importantly, take your life vest. Make sure you have flares. Plan ahead. Let somebody know where you're going to be, where your intended route is going to be, and check in.
All right. Petty Officer Mike Miller, thank you so much for your time, sir. I really do appreciate that. And to the guys, thank you as well. You can see some of those flares still burning out there. So if you do get in trouble, make sure you have those flares, because it could save your life when you're out on the water. Right now, we're going to come back with much more Low Country Live after this, so make sure you stay with us.